Good morning to all of you. Uh, in last lectures, we have discussed regarding the different quality control tests that we have carried out for the manufacturing. That were carried out for the container that we are using for the packaging of the parenteral formulations. In today's lectures, we'll discuss about the different requirements which are required for the pharmaceutical sterile manufacturing process. So, as per the production process includes all the steps from accumulations and combining all the ingredients of the formula to enclosing the product in the individual containers for the distribution. So, in the simple flow patterns of any manufacturing processes that you have to carry out a dispensing, then after that compounding, and then primary packaging, secondary packaging, you have to perform the quality control test, and then after passing those tests, you have to go for the dispatching, or your product will be entered into the market. But as we are considering the sterile manufacturing processes, which is too much different from the regular manufacturing processes, which require the proper precautions we have to take before starting the manufacturing till the dispatch of your product. Because as the sterile product, we have to maintain the sterility of the product throughout the processing. It's not like that we can arrange or we can modify the sterility of your any product at the end of the formulations, and that's why there are various requirements they are given, where various considerations are there to get the to get the final sterile product, and that we are going to discuss in today's lectures. So in that case, we are going to discuss that we need to understand the product and the process requirements. Basically, we are mostly concentrating on a GMP that we have to follow for the sterile manufacturing processes. As we all know, GMP, that is everyone's responsibility. It is not like that only the production unit will have the responsibility to produce the sterile product, or it is the only responsibility of the filling uh, unit that they produce the final sterile product. No, it's the overall responsibility of each and every person, each and every you can say the element which is belongs to the processing. Starting from the procurement of your raw materials, their quality control testing, approval, rejections of your product, then it will come to the dispensing area. To the dispensing area, it will come to the manufacturing area. After manufacturing, it will go to the filling area as the injections or any sterile formulations are there. It will do the primary filling or the primary packaging, and for the primary packaging, it will go to the secondary packaging. We have discussed the tests which are carried out for the packaging materials, and we have understand that how this packaging is also important, how the glass or the rubber or plastic containers can affect the stability of our product, and that's why the processes and the personnel, those are the persons who are involved in each and every facility, or those who are involved to carry out those all the facilities that they are performed, they must be aware about the importance of the study. And that's why this total topic or these particular sessions will discuss about the different facilities that are required to prepare or to formulate the sterile formulations. So, which includes some regulatory requirements, which includes uh, some problems that will occur during the processing. Some environmental conditions are there. Then we will discuss about some environmental control, some facilities regarding the traffic control, or important things here we are going to discuss regarding the air control in sterile manufacturing area, because as we have stated that sterile product, that means these are the products which are free from any foreign particles, and suppose if any particulate matters will be present in sterile formulation, so obviously it will directly inject into the bloodstreams, and it will affect or it will causes some side reactions, and that's why the particle size or the air control in each and every area is very much important that we are going to discuss. Then personal requirements means what are the conditions are there, how the hygienic conditions are maintained, and the processing. So that we are going to discuss in detail. Let's see one by one. So as already I have discussed the GMP, Good Manufacturing Practices. What is GMP? So GMP stands for it is the process that we are follow so that we can assure that whatever the product which will be formed during the processing that is having the proper or the accurate consistency and the standards that it's maintained. So here the one statement gives the detailed outline. The GMP is everyone's responsibility. As I already discussed, those are the persons or those are the workers who have carried out all those processes. It's not like that all the process will be carried out by the one person. There are various persons are there. Suppose you are working in a specific department in a manufacturing area, there are some sweepers, there are some casual workers, there are some permanent workers, they are supervised with the help of the supervisors. Most of the times, what will happen, those sweepers or those workers who are working under you, they don't know the actual requirements for sterility or they actually don't know what exactly sterile means. So you have to aware them about their responsibilities. So that's why the GMP is everyone's responsibility. Suppose a simple thing in a class 1 area or the class A area where we require a particular count less than 100 or we call it the class 100 areas where particle counts not more than 100 cubic per centimeter cubic foot in 0.5 or larger size particles. So basically, suppose the sweepers don't know the importance of this or importance of this particular class, and he or she has not sanitized the area properly, so there may be the chance of the contamination. So it's his responsibility that the area should be properly clean. Secondly, suppose one helper will be there, so he has to take the proper precautions that there should not be any contaminations during the process, during the filling, during the manufacturing or anything. So it's everyone's responsibility that you should follow the GMP, good manufacturing practices that you have to follow to achieve the final aim of our formulations or final aim of our system that to get the sterile product. Then, what is GMP? So, GMP stands for Good Manufacturing Processes. So, as per the WHO guidelines, GMP, which is a part of the quality assurance, which ensures that the products are consistently produced and controlled to quality standards appropriate to their intended use and as required by the marketing authorizations. So, what it is said? So, here we can see the good manufacturing practices is the part of the quality assurance which ensures that the products are consistently produced and controlled to the quality standards appropriate to their intended use and as required by the marketing authorizations. So here when you follow the GMP, you will control the quality of your product. And once you control the quality, you can assure the quality of your product. So these are the three interlinked processes: GMP, QC, and means quality control and the quality assurance. So if we differentiated them between the quality control and the quality assurance, quality control that they define the standards, and quality controls that control those standards. And when we are controlling the standard, when we are following the proper GMP at each and every step, then only we can achieve the proper quality that we require for the marketing your product. So this particular GMPs aim to eliminate the inherent risk in any pharmaceutical productions, like the risk of the cross contaminations and mix-up, or sometimes false labels will be put on the container. So This particular GMP is not like that, it only belongs to the manufacturing practices. As a good manufacturing practice we can. So manufacturing content various. So dispensing also contain GMP, preparation room which contain the GMP, then packing or the filling lines that also following the GMP. Unless and until you are following the GMP, it is not possible to maintain the quality of your product. So basically to enhance the assurance of successful manufacturing operations, all the process steps must be carefully reduced to the writing after being shown to be effective. Means suppose you are following one step, it should be in a proper written manner. What we are called in? So these written process steps that are called as a SOPs, and you have to follow that standard operating procedures for each and every step. And as we know, we have discussed about the SOPs in the third year, so we cannot make the change on SOPs unless and until the authorized persons give the permissions. Also, the extensive record must be kept with the assurance at the end of the productions that all the steps have been performed as prescribed and as the TIC emphasizes in FDA's GMP by following the FDA's or WHO guidelines for the food manufacturing practices. So, such in process control, which is very essential to assuring that the quality of the product, since the assurance are even more significant than those from the testing. So, basically, these GMPs are very important. These SOPs are very important. The steps that you have followed to perform the process, that is very much important. Because once you formulate the product, and suppose if any inspector come to inspect that product, so you just have one document that will give the proof that you are following the proper steps or you are following the good practices, so that it can assure that whatever the process are carried out that are under the standard conditions. So that's why this particular GMP is very much important. Now, what are the benefits of GMP? They outline the quality system that will reduce or prevent the errors. It ensures the products are safe for use in humans. It prevents and controls the contaminations as well as the cross contaminations. It minimizes the variations in potency of the drug as we are following the proper manufacturing practices. So there may be less chances of the contaminations as well as the cross contaminations, as well as there is a less chance of losing your product during the processing. So ultimately, it will minimize the variations in the potency of the drug. It will ensure the reproducible physiological activity. As you know the definitions of the GMP, what it says here, we can repeat the definitions that the quality products are consistently produced and controlled. Consistently produced and controlled. So we can ensure the reproducible physiological activity here. It will prevent the side effects and the toxicity due to variations in the drug content and the potency, and it prevents the mislabeling and the adulteration. Now, why this particular GMP is very much important? Simple thing, I just want to share one example here. Suppose you want to buy the car or any vehicle, so you have carried out some history regarding their mileage or anything, their design we are discussing, their production means production model, they can model we have checked, or we are checking their expiry or anything, so that we can visually observe when we are going to buy the any car or any material like any mobile phone also. But same thing when you are buying any product, means mostly pharmaceutical products, any formulations like you can consider any formulations. Can you observe those? Means, can you say just looking on that particular product that this particular product contains this amount of drug, or this particular drug having this much amount of strength, or the expiry or the dose or documentation. We cannot directly say by just looking into towards that products. So for that purpose, this particular GMP and all the documentation plays very important role. Whether they are labeling, whether the processing via VMR will be there, back manufacturing records are there, BPRs are there, MFR is there. So all those documented proofs are there, so that we can assure that yes, this particular products contain this amount of drug. All the quality control tests will also we have to mention in that particular documentation. So yes, obviously this particular drug contain this much amount of active ingredients. This particular drug is passed to this specification test, and this particular drugs having the specific expire. So to get that, this particular GMP plays very important role. Now, what are the building blocks of the GMP? The two building blocks of the GMP, that is the quality control and quality assurance. So to differentiate the quality assurance from the quality control, sorry, the quality assurance that functions is usually on a pre-planning those factors that bear upon the quality of the product and is thus preventive development process. Quality assurance काय करतं की जे प्रोसेसेस आहेत की ज्या कुठेतरी अफेक्ट होऊ शकतात त्या ऑलरेडी डिटेक्ट करतात आणि त्याच्याबद्दल एका डॉक्युमेंटेशन मध्ये तुमचं मेन्शन केलेलं असतं. सो इट इज अ preventive development process. And quality control, here we can say, which is a particularly they are performing the actual test. So we can say these particular two blocks, building blocks of the GMP. So quality control, controlling the quality by testing the materials, that is called the quality control, and controlling the processes by testing the processes, which is called the quality assurance. So we can say if you follow the GMP with a well-trained staff, with the proper documentations, plus good premises and equipment that will ultimately produce high quality product. So we can say the productions of the quality product, which is a result of the continuous dedicated efforts of the quality assurance, productions and quality control personnel within the plants in developing, performing and confirming the effective procedures that we have followed for the preparations of that dosage. So where this particular GMP we have to consider. So GMP is everyone's responsibility and GMP is everywhere. So in the sterile formulations also that we are going to discuss in details about each and every parameters or every factors that can affect our final product. So in equipments, our premises, the productions and distributions of our products, means the production area, then storage area will be there, the records, labeling and packaging, and how we purchase and store the raw material. So we can say this is the proper flow. Means GMP is everywhere. Means here we can say starting from the purchase and store to the means we can start from here and will end it here. Productions and distributions of the product here. So it will include all the equipments during the processing, our premises, all the record processing records and labeling and the packaging conditions are there. So we'll see one by one. So before that, you must know about the 5 P's that we have to consider for the sterile manufacturing area that will affect on our stability of our product. First P, that is the premises. There are various rooms we required like aseptic preparations for the filling purpose, for the packaging purpose, for the distribution purpose, for the storage purpose. So the premises, the requirement of premises is very much important. The flooring system, the ventilation system or lighting system, that also we have to consider here. Second one, the primary materials, raw materials that we are using means these particular primary materials which includes whatever the additives that we are using, whatever the therapeutic agents that we are using, along with the primary packaging materials also there. So we have discussed these particular primary material points. We'll not go in detail about the primary materials, but there are some requirements in GMP point of view that we are going to definitely discuss under the primary material. The important things in sterile manufacturing process is the persons or the people, those who are working. As I already discussed, the persons who carry out all the process, he must aware about their responsibilities. Every person must know their responsibilities properly. Then the processes that we have followed, there are various types of processes are there, starting from the procurement, then dispensing, manufacturing, filling, sealing, packaging, then labeling will be there, then quality control testing, in process quality control testing, and all those testing processes are there. So that also we have to consider while considering the facility requirement for the sterile manufacturing processes. Then last P, that is our process records. Whatever we have processed from the initial stage to the end stage, that must be recorded properly, and that proper record must be maintained so that we can assure that whatever the product that we have formulated, which is having the rich, basically follows the standard operating procedures, and we can state the quality, or we can state the standard of the products. So these five you just kept in mind. So in all this topic regarding the requirements for the manufacturing of sterile formulations, they will revolve around these five P's. People, that we can call the persons, premises, primary materials, process, and the process record. So what I just want to repeat one slide here. So this thing, when you are following the GMP, that is a good manufacturing practices, we call the processes here. Well-trained staff, that is our persons. Documentations, that is our process record. Premises and processing equipment. So these five P's are here. We can easily observe that these particular five P's are there. This is process P1. This is our person. This is our process documentation. Here premises and process equipments are there. So these particularly five P's that plays very much important roles to maintain the required conditions for the sterile manufacturing processes. We'll see one by one now. Now, first thing we'll discuss about the persons, because as we know, the main source of the contaminations which is a persons. So the attire they are having during the processing, or the hygienic conditions that they have to mention, that basically that basically considered in the sterile manufacturing process as compared to the non-sterile formulations. The people who produce the sterile products, as already I have discussed, that basically they are non-professional persons. Means workers are there, helpers are there, and they are supervised with those of the professional training. Means suppose you are the production officer, so तुमच्या under कोणीतरी लोक असतात. So they don't aware about all those things. Means what is class one area, what should be sterility, what should be sterility you have to maintain, why this particular filtration method we are using. They don't know about anything. They just know about the this process has to be followed, because which is given in a process. So they must be aware about all those things. For the effective operator, they must be inherently and orderly, alert, and have the good manual dexterity. So there should be appreciative of the vital role that every movement has in determining the quality of the final product. So it is, so they have to keep in mind all the processes must be free from the contaminations. So here we can say the persons engaged in the supervisions of the manufacturing processes and packaging and the holding of the products, they must know sufficient educations with the proper experience along with the proper training. And the simple thing, you have the proper education but you don't know, you don't have the experience, you don't have the training. Can you perform any work directly? No, obviously not. Once you get the training and once you work in that specific areas, so you will get the proper experience. So we can easily perform that work in the next day, the next time. So for that purpose, sufficient education means you must know why this process is carried out. It's not like that. Okay, this particular process is written in a SOP, so I have to follow this. But why this? Why not this? Why we cannot use this process? So the sufficient educations along with the proper training and along with the experience that we call the proper persons who can work in that specific areas and the adequate number to perform the assigned tasks or functions to give the assurance of the product quality, identity, and the product and the purity. Means simple thing, the persons who are engaged in the specific working area, that should not be moved because if there may be the crowd will be there, so there may be more chances of the contamination. So you have to assign the required amount of or the required number of persons to perform the specific work. Simple thing, for the productions you require only 2 to 3 persons, and if you are assigning 5 persons for the productions only, you cannot manage the others works also. So for that purpose, the proper assignment or the proper personal assignment will be there. So the persons, along with that, they should be in a good health and should be subject to the periodic physical examinations. So the hygienic conditions will be there. So why the trained persons or the quality trained persons are required, the experienced persons are required. So if you have trained persons, they will give the quality performance, and obviously it will be the continuously improve your performance, so we can assure the quality of the product throughout the process. So what will happen if you are using this, so they will less prone to the errors. Means if you are using the trained person or the experienced persons, so they will there will be the less errors during the processing, and it will lead to the less deviations from the standards. Obviously, it will reduce the amount of rework and reduce the amount of rejections, and ultimately they will produce the quality product. So that's why these particularly trained persons are there. Now, apart from that, their hygienic conditions and sanitization is very much important. So all the employees should be in a good hygienic conditions, good health, and they should be subjected to the periodic physical examinations. They should understand their responsibility to report the developing systems. Suppose headache will be there, cold will be there, sore throat will be there, other infectious diseases will be there. Uh, so there has to be so it's their responsibility to inform the respective supervisors. So why hygiene and sanitization is important? Because as already I have discussed, key persons or the man, these are the natural carrier of the microorganisms. So that's why to avoid the contaminations, we have to take the proper hygiene and the sanitization is very much important. For the sterile formulations, there is a specific attire will be there. So where this particular microorganism can transfer during the sneezing, during the coughing, during the yawn, or during the talking also. So these particular microorganisms can be entered, or they may contaminate your product. So that's why the hygiene and the sanitization is very much important. Then, apart from this, the plant uniform is very much important. For the sterile manufacturing area, so basically the attire or whatever the uniform that worn by the person in the aseptic areas, that mostly contains sterile coveralls, hoods, face masks, and shoe covers are there. And importantly the sterile rubber gloves, because in a sterile manufacturing area, even a filling area, you cannot directly contact with any subject which will be useful for the production process. Sorry. So the plant uniform and plant attire, or the for the aseptic purpose, that must be there. So you should have to wear the gowning. Then shoe covers will be there, and the rubber gloves you have to use. Face mask is there, hoodies will be there. So this particular persons, those who are entering into the aseptic areas, that should be required to follow a defined procedures. So that they so this particular includes removing your outside street clothing, then scrubbing the hands and the arms thoroughly with the disinfectant soap, and wearing the prescribed uniform. In some plants, there is a full body water and a soap shower is provided. In most of the biological product processing plants, means during when in both the process, when entering and leaving the area, so to control the microbial contaminations in both directions between the person and the products. Also, air showers are there. Air shower in the sense there are different filters are there. You can observe those filtered in biotech lab. When you are entered into the sterile area, there is one filter, HEPA filter is there. So that can absorb the, not absorb, if any dust particle will be there, that can be easily controlled by this particular system. So we'll discuss that about the HEPA filters in the air controlling system later on. So also air shower for the fully attired worker is used at the time of the entry. So to overall air control system will be there. Then there are some in some plant vibrating foot mat or the disinfectant foot bath are also there. They also reduce the transfer of the contaminations. So because the pimples that are continuously shedding via the non-viral particulate matter from the body surface. So uniforms are worn to help the control these emissions. So this particularly design uniform that are prepared with the help of the synthetic fibers like the Dacron. So that Dacron cloth, which is made up of the continuous fibers, it make it easily leak free and in air conditioner rooms as an acceptable compatibility. Uh, Hats and a mask that are sometimes made of the special paper and discarded after the use. So personal working in that particular equipment washing room or the sterilizing room and the packaging areas. So has to be wore the clean uniform daily and to be conscious of the cleanliness. Okay, so this is regarding the personal requirements. The premises part, the class that we'll discuss in our next lecture. Okay, thank you.